Louisiana beer reviews. Samuel Adams Tasman Red Batch Number 2, 6.75% alcohol and a 50 international bitterness unit. This beer was introduced in 2011. The ingredients are the typical Samuel Adams two-row pale malt blend, Special B, Caramel 60, and Carafa 3 malts. All those different barleys. The hops are Topaz and Galaxy. The beer gets a good rating on Beer Advocate, although the bros give it an exceptional score, and it gets very high on Rapier. I believe it's 93 and 88 for the style. So, oh, and the Beer and Me gives it a most excellent score. So the overall feeling is that it's a fantastic beer. I've never had it. They had a lot of these Samuel Adams Special Series beers at Mathern's, but don't think it was selling too well, and they more or less getting rid of them. I bought this at Stein's Deli. I saw it there and I picked it up. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, $4.99 for the bottle, which is a little lower than normal. It says on here, interestingly, enjoy now or age it to further develop rich and unique flavors. And a lot of beer fans, beer experts, I guess, advise against aging in IPA because it loses, they say it loses hoppiness. Although I did drink some very old Brewdog Punk IPA and Hardcore IPA, they were over 2 years old, and they were still very bitter. Of course, who's to say they might have been much more bitter fresh? I don't know. Let's check this out. I'm curious. 22-ounce bottle. Made a nice hiss. Okay, you heard that probably. And look at it. Look at it. Isn't that something? This is exploding out of the bottle, just like the Punk IPA. If you saw that beer review, I popped the cap and it just ejaculated out of the bottle. And I had to clean the floor up in the store. Anyway, we get a thick, what color is that? Cream color, so to speak. And the sun is really too high here, almost at 85-degree angle, or probably is 85 degrees, so I can't really get it to shine through without tipping the glass. But it's a very cloudy amber appearance. It's red. It's a reddish brown, so that's why they call it that. Let's examine the aroma. Now, earlier this morning I had the Hipster IPA, Hipster APA, and from Evil Twin, and a lot of people on Rapier and Beer Advocate read their reviews, and they were saying this ain't no APA, this is IPA. That was so fruity. This one here is more bready. I'm really picking up brown bread crust, and you get that a lot with ales, or I get that a lot with ales. But it's a full, good, rich aroma. Let's go with the flavor. Yeah, really malty. The brown bread crust, the that red ale flavor. Which is hard to describe. In other words, it's like, well, like a sort of bitter, sweet bread crust. You do get some hoppy bitterness here, but it's not too much, and it's certainly not piney or citrusy, I don't find. The alcohol doesn't really show through. So really, to sum this up, you get a bready, semi-sweet, malty flavor backed up by some, I would say, standardized bitterness, not floral, not piney. And that's about it. The mouthfeel is medium to heavy, but more toward medium, and um, pretty smooth, sort of soft. The finish, it's mostly dry. It's pretty refreshing, I guess, if you want to say an ale can be refreshing, and the drinkability is not bad. It's not as drinkable, I don't find, as the hipster, but it's so much different than the hipster, so it's not really a good comparison. This does have sort of a dirtiness to it, like an unrefined character, and that's true for a lot of ales because they're not aged and as refined and as a lager. So you're going to get a lot rougher character with an ale, which a lot of people like. I don't mind it, and I don't really dislike it. I sort of do like it sometimes, but I gotta admit, I have to admit that I really do like the refined, flinty, crisp character of a lager, maybe a little more, but we have to review this as it is. And for what it is, a red ale, it really does what it should do. And I don't think you'll find it too harsh if you're not used to craft beers. This might be a good one to start with. I would say if you're a Bud Light or I was about to say Bud Dry, Bud Light, or just a light beer or whatever brand you drink, beer drinker, and you want to experiment. Before you drink this, I would say try Killian's Irish Red, which is kind of gravitating towards this, and this would be like more of a harsher version of that. Killian's Irish Red is a red lager, and then here you're going to get a lot heavier bodied, dirtier, and I don't mean dirty in a bad way, just it's hard to describe, less refined beer, but really macho and tough, and it's got a lot of character in the body and the mouthfeel. It's doing a lot of things in your mouth while you're drinking it. You're tasting a lot of different things within that range of the breadiness and the straightforward hops. So I think they did a fantastic job with it. I'm going to enjoy drinking the rest, and I'm going to like the hipster. I just love that underlying sweetness there. It's really something. So I'm going to give this an A, a solid A, most excellent. Samuel Adams really is a fun company to review. So, Laissez les bon temps rouler. This is a most excellent beer, and I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to sunny and dry today. Of course, the weather doesn't always stay the same. Southeastern Louisiana.